Hey everyone, this is the final beta test for the Elder Scrolls Online. The main attraction this time around is that you can play as an Imperial with the added perks. The problem I've found is probably not with the game per se, but the deployment of the game. Watch as I try and interact with the environment here. You just have to hit E and you can either search items or take them, but it is simply failing for me here. Now, I did downscale the resolution just a bit, but you can still see throughout this video that in the chat log at the bottom left of the screen, other players frequently ask if anyone else is having lag. Now, just to get this out of the way, I am playing on a new system here. All the drivers are the current drivers, and my internet connection's a broadband connection as well. It's 45 meg down, 4 meg up. I don't have any drops or issues on my network here. My settings are optimized for online gaming. QoS is enabled on my router, and I'm the only one on my network anyway, so there shouldn't be any issues. But, watch here. Oh, it looks like I can walk right through this crate, so for some reason, some things in the environment here aren't quite detecting, I guess what you would call collisions or zones, basically, but then somehow I did manage to smash the crate there to reveal, well, a bag of rice, I guess. But again, I can't do any search function here or take any items from what I've discovered. Now, we did discover an assassin over there, but I'm actually trying to draw my weapon here. You can draw your weapon one of two ways. You can hit the left mouse button, or you can hit Z on your keyboard there. Neither one is working for me here. Now, around this time in the game, I did go online and start to look for solutions to this problem. A few other users did point this out on the beta test forums, and the solution for failing to either use the a menu at any point or to interact with your environment was suggested to log out, log back in, and then your resources should load up for your world, etc. Well, I did that probably 4 or 5 times during this one session, and that didn't seem to do anything for me at all. I did run random speed tests throughout when I was in the process of reloading or restarting, and again, I can't stress it enough, my network is solid here. I did check the settings, made sure they were at the defaults, made sure that E wasn't bound to anything else. It certainly wasn't. And so then I proceed with, yeah, that's the right letter. So again, logging out, logging back in a few times didn't make much difference for me there. I can't even get out the door here. At this point, I'm starting to wonder, is this picnic? Problem in chair, not in computer? Again, I did a full reboot, came back in again here, and now, same issue. Now, I had played earlier in the day, didn't have this problem. Any other games on my system? No problems there. Double checked, no pop-ups saying my video card drivers are out of date. They were updated as of a week ago. Again, you can see here, once you do get to searching through an item, you get this menu. You can hit E again to take whatever you found, in this case it looks like a recipe, or you can actually right-click on it as well. So you'll see that in a little bit. When I was able to right-click on the item to choose the option to take it, again, didn't happen. I wasn't able to do it. That might have been a tasty recipe too. So again, here's another reboot. There's some people running through doors. Nope, here I'm not even presented with the option to get in that door, so I'm starting to wonder, is this area of the map simply overloaded? There's too many players on here, and just not enough resources to handle the load on the server. So, you'll see me switch up again soon. You will also notice, of course, other players going in and out of doors. They're seemingly having no issues. So here we go, trusty old log out, log back in. Now I'll spare you the pain. I probably stared at this screen here for a good 5 minutes. There is a little bit of latency that we'll start to see happening while I'm playing here, mostly as my player is running through whatever map I am on, here mostly around the shipyard. This loading screen, when I was playing before, only took about 20-30 seconds for me to get back to my main menu before I could log back in. Here I probably looked at it for a good 5 minutes. but then I got back in. And you see here, the system appeared to work for a moment. Oh, I can't believe it, I just took an item. Well, hey, so maybe I'll have better luck this time. And oh, it looks like it can take more items. Okay, so for some reason, just logging out, logging back in, now I'm able to interact with my environment. I'm able to open a door. Hey, that's great. So let's see if I can make my way through this quest and complete some of these things. Don't mind if I jump over there, do you? Alright. So here you're going to see me try to enter basically where I just came from. I am given the option to open the door here. I'm hitting the ladder, but nothing's happening. Here comes the latency. There we go. What door did I just open there? That makes no sense at all. So I'm back in again, starting to wonder if these issues are creeping back. We did eventually find an assassin and it's hiding in a crate. We killed the assassin, but I can't do anything about it there. Oh, it looks like I can search the assassin for items, but no. Not going to be able to take anything here. So, the issues appear to have returned there. So, I logged out, logged back in, everything was working there for a couple of minutes. But as of now, I'm pretty much back to exactly where it was before, not able to do anything. Again, it doesn't seem to be everyone. There are other people that are going through completing these quests. For whatever reason, I'm being blocked out of this. I did manage to put my weapon away. That was another thing that happened a lot. Once I was drawing my weapon, I'd get stuck running around with it for a while. So I'm back out here again, starting to think I need to log out and log back in again. Now, when I was playing this was around midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday night, Eastern Standard Time. So you can oh, here we go. There's a good example of me trying to right-click on the item to take it, and that's not working either. But back to what I was saying about the time. You can imagine that during that time, there would be a lot of people playing this game. Apparently over 5 million people signed up to be beta testers for this. So, number one, I felt pretty lucky to be playing it. Number two, there could be a lot of people on the servers right now. Now, you're going to start seeing some latency here. Watch as my player is running. Again, when I was doing speed tests and restarting, I'm getting my full bandwidth. So I know I don't have an issue on my network. Nothing else has jumped up and crashed on me at any point. But I was noticing there are a few other players running around. They look like they're getting a bit of lag and latency too. People in the chat windows throughout this game are constantly asking, hey, is anyone else having lag? So it was definitely an issue that was experienced by more than just one player at this point. Again, don't even actually know what item I was apparently searching back there. Menu just popped up randomly, and here my head appears to be stuck in a door. That's just fantastic. So at this point, I'm thinking I need to leave this area. There's too many people trying to complete these quests by the shipping yard and going after the assassins hiding in the crates and everything. So, hey, it's breakfast time. Gonna have my bowl of Wheaties, and let's see if I can do business in the marketplace. I was able to pick up a few items randomly before the whole debacle in the shipping yard, so let's see if I can sell some things and maybe get some nice clothes. Because the clothes I'm wearing are, I believe, still the defaults. And it looks like someone else just had their breakfast too. Wiping crumbs off. There we go. Very classy. But looks like no amount of me hitting letter E on my keyboard there is going to allow me to talk to the merchant. And now it's starting to rain. That's just fantastic. Oh well, let's see if I can talk to somebody else.
I don't care how tough you think you are. No one should go into
now the merchant will talk to me. Okay, well, better late than never, right? Again, that's the latency coming back again. But I'm not able to browse the store at all, so. About this point, I make my usual call out and say, well, latency's back again. I wasn't the only one experiencing it, so again, that's the whole point of a beta test, that these issues are found and then investigated. Hopefully it's not something we see when the game actually is released, but gotta say a little bit concerned at this point. And as you can see here, I can get to the user interface. I can get to my inventory and pick different items, but I can't do anything with my items in this world. I can't actually interact with another part of it to take other items, trade things in the market, sell things, what have you. And so at this point, I'm thinking, I might just have to go to another area. Maybe this area is getting overpopulated too. That's the nature of beta tests. Everyone has, wanted in on this, and this could be just a peak hour, right? So I think I've got to leave. No one else wants to talk to me, so I'm going to go run off on my own. That's one of the great things about previous games in the Elder Scrolls series. The maps in the area that you can explore are absolutely huge, so I'm thinking at this point I'd better go where there's a few less people. Now I did do one thing before I went to another area of this map. I did go do another log out, log back in, hoping I'll actually get some interaction ability with the environment and the world around me. And look at that, looks like someone's got a pet dragon. Isn't that cute? Alright, so here's something interesting that happens here. Around this point, all of a sudden,
I don't care how tough you think you are.
I'm talking to the
one should go
merchant.
into battle without a good
At this
sword
point in the
fight.
map, I'm probably a good 3 to 5 minutes of runtime away from where this merchant was when I was trying to interact with this merchant here. At this point, I can't believe what just happened. I'm thinking, wow, that is really weird. That's some extreme latency. Again, at this point, I was also stuck with the weapon out. Sounds like I should get arrested for some kind of indecent exposure there. But I was stuck running around with my sword out for a large part of these maps, and simply putting the weapon away wasn't happening for me at all, as well as interacting with the environment. So there were some extreme delays that happened. But I went for a little run, found a beach, and here is where it really all went south. The only words I heard were from the ominous voice telling me, "Don't interfere." And I'm being attacked. Now, by what I'm being attacked, I do not know. I'm getting zapped, electrocuted, and someone's throwing electricity balls at me, and I can't even see who's attacking me. It doesn't even look like anyone's there. And I don't make it very far. I die in short order. Now watch this last volley. Right there. Right out of the rock. So I'm guessing that inside that crypt I was supposed to get into, there was a wizard or a mage there waiting there for me to take me on. And somehow detected me outside of that and decided to just smite me. Now here, you've got the option to either basically resurrect yourself at the nearest way shrine or to regenerate right here. I was trying to do both. Wasn't able to revive my player and resume right here. Very disappointing at that. I was also hitting escape, trying to get out of here, get back to a menu. Wasn't able to do that either, to even log out and log back in to continue. Now, some interesting things start happening right here. A few of the interactions I was making leading up to this point in my environment start to all come to fruition, basically. You'll see a couple of achievements actually pop up here in a moment. And you'll also see another nice little message up at the top right corner of the screen that says you cannot do that while you are dead. So, well, that's fantastic. And wait for it. How I would be achieving anything at this point, other than being shark food, I don't know. But there we go. Apparently I discovered a shrieking scar. And my one hand and shield increased. Isn't that fantastic? And then in the top right, you can't do that while you're dead. That's just great. Again, I gave it a few minutes here to see if the latency would catch back up with me at all. And no amount of me hitting any keys on the keyboard here to get out to any kind of menu or user interface would actually happen for me. So, again, very disappointing at this point. Looking into how ZeniMax is basically deploying this game across their mega servers. The mega server is actually several smaller servers distributing and load balancing for different players. Now, this seems to work pretty good for the most part when it's not overloaded. You can see the combat system in the game is a lot of fun. And by being in the game with other players who are actually in different worlds allows you to quest together and have a lot more flexibility. Now, here you'll see there's a skull we're supposed to pick up out of this chest. Other players are able to come along and grab that resource, and I am too. I've just got to wait my turn until I'm the first one to actually hit the letter E there to go grab it. And again, that's the wonderful thing about this system actually working properly here, is that the resources are there for all the players to use, and no one really gets shut out. So um, when it is working, it seems to be just fine, and you can quest with other players and really team up to get things to happen. When it doesn't work, it seems to flop completely. So what I've done here is I've gone the other way. I decided I'm not going to play as an Imperial right now. I'm not going to be in the overcrowded Tamriel. I'm going to go join up with the Evanhart Pact and explore Davin's Watch a bit. Here I'm having no problems. I'm not having issues talking to what other characters I need to talk to complete a quest. I'm not having trouble getting to items and in the environment and picking up things. So far, none of the issues I was seeing in Tamriel there are actually occurring here in Davin's Watch, which is pretty interesting and definitely does speak to a balancing issue with how the mega server is handing out worlds and balancing how many players are on one server versus another. And I only say that because the mega server isn't actually just one server, it's several different locations because this is a global event. Here, again, you can see no more issues. No issues having conversations with these characters here either. So, really does make you wonder. Now, there's some really neat things that go on in this game with the combat system. It really does remind me a lot of playing Assassin's Creed, and you can really move around with your player, and there's a lot of really effective weapons. It was a lot of fun. I got wrapped up in it pretty well at this point, and wasn't missing Tamriel very much right now. You will see something interesting that I found though, and that is my trusty invisible sword. That's right. I've got an invisible sword, and I will smite thee. Now, this is the only glitch that I could find over here in Davin's Watch, and I'm just probably outside of the city limits here at this point anyway. Oh, there we go. See, all I had to do was kill something, and now I've got my sword. So a little bit of a little glitch there with the invisible sword, but overall, very playable, no problems, no glitching, no lag, no problems picking up things out of my environment. So that's pretty much it. Right now, still really remains to be seen if this is actually going to be a smooth deployment, or if we're going to see a bunch of issues with other people being basically shut out of their worlds and crowded out. And hopefully it's not a situation where we start getting claustrophobia, because one of the beautiful things about playing this series for so long is that the worlds are huge, the maps are expansive, and you can just go off and explore. And you can pretty much do anything in the maps, just like this when I effectively, well, jump off a cliff. See ya!